So I hear you talking about it on the fan on Saturday. I'm like, oh man, we got to be talking about this because
let's go.
I liked what you were saying.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't expecting some of the stuff you were saying. You were speaking positively and saying we could. Well, you brought up the question. I think I got to backtrack now.
All right.
First, Kevin Colbert initially said, what was it, like a week ago?
Yeah, right after. So he made two comments. First, he made before Ben got clear, where he said that he thinks Ben has multiple years left. He doesn't see him in the same vein of a Phillip Rivers or Eli Manning. And then once Ben threw, this is where he's
better than ever.
He said he could come back and be a better version than we've ever seen from Ben.
Okay, so he said that, and then you said on the show, you were like, man, what is a better version of Ben? What do we mean by this? And you were bringing up good points, but I'm just going to get to the black and white of better version of Ben, and I'm with Colbert there, because if you go back to 2018, and I know we've talked about this. We've talked about this before, about this 2018 year, like the ins and the outs of it. I thought it was a really good year, and I just went online today and went to the 2018 highlights just to make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me then, and that the stats aren't deceiving me, because he threw for the most yards in the league that year.
Most yards, most attempts, most picks.
All right, I'm not. Come on, man.
We got to give the listeners all the facts. That's all.
Listen, dude, I watched those highlights.
Give the listeners all the facts.
And it's not a fluke, dude. He was throwing the ball good. He was throwing the ball really good. So here's the whole thing then. I don't think that I agree with Colbert with his first statement too, that Ben isn't like the Phillip Rivers, the Eli Manning.
Correct.
He has, I would even say, like Tom Brady or Drew Brees. I think in general they probably take care of themselves better than Ben does in terms of working out and
nutrition and all that
regiment.
Stuff. Yeah.
But Ben is a way more talented thrower and just natural ability than
He's
those
more
guys.
Gifted. Yes.
I'm just trying to think, because I was looking up quarterbacks. I looked up, Brett Favre, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, even Peyton Manning had a good year whenever he was 38 before he fell off the next year.
The thing that's funny is this: when you look at age, we talk about Ben at 38. I mean, I think his birthday is today. Actually, happy birthday, to Ben!
Happy birthday!
And we talk about like Ben being old at 38. Brady's gonna be 43 next season, and then Brees will be 41.
Right.
Like, those dudes are old.
So
a lot older.
And that's what I'm saying. If you factor all that in and say that Ben is just more naturally gifted than those guys, now the question goes to, so obviously he's capable then.
Right.
He's capable of doing that if he didn't get hurt. Now the question is, all right, what's he going to look like from the injury? So you're just banking on he's going to be revived. Like this is a robotic arm type of situation. Where
I hear people say that, and that was my question. Are we talking rest? Are we talking rejuvenated and refreshed? I don't want to hear none of this RoboCop Terminator nonsense. We ain't, come on now, we ain't doing that today. And that's this robo arm. I don't want to hear all that now.
And that's how I'm leaning. This is going to be.
He's like the kid from Rookie of the Year. Yes. When he broke his arm, he comes back.
The technology is there.
Oh man.
The science. I got that feeling. If you're combining,
you got a lot of feelings. I realized that, man.
If you combine all these factors that I'm talking about, I could see how this could be the case, because we go back, and this was a point you brought up on the fan. He has a lot of years in football.
Yes.
Where he's seen all these plays. It's Brady has said this before. Man, when I'm hitting 38, 39, 40, these later years, football is becoming more and more fun for me because I know the answers to the test now.
Yes.
If I could just keep my health up, then I'm going to be straight.
Right.
So I think that's a factor. And the other thing that you mentioned is the year off. Now, that could be helpful for him in total physically.
Right.
Not necessarily the arm, because like I said, we got to see what the whole surgery and what that recovery is. But also mentally taking a step back and refreshing. There could be a newfound, I don't know, love for the game would be the right term, but a newfound motivation, a newfound respect of just coming in and, man, this year off, I wanna go for another 3-4. That's what I'm hoping, at least.
I got you.
So I think there could be some credence to what he's saying.
I like it. So for me, when I looked at it and I said, could Ben be better than before? I look at more so, are we talking 30 plus touchdowns? Are we talking less interceptions, right? Because the year you're talking about in 18, those were his numbers. 30 plus touchdowns, league leading picks, league leading in yards over 5,000, league leading in attempts though. It was like 675. So he was a ton of volume. And we all could agree that some games he probably threw the ball too much. When we talk about that Broncos game, probably threw the ball too much and got away from the running game. And we saw that multiple times. But from a mentality standpoint, he was still like, hey, man, the offense is moving well. We're good. Even though the offense is moving well, you heard even when San Antonio came up here, he was like, man, sometimes you got to like slow it down so your defense is out there too much. Sometimes you got to do this because it helps with just the whole scheme, overall game plan. If Ben mentally is coming back with the mindset that I want to be the guy to throw it 40 times a game, I want to be the guy to show that I can outdo any quarterback, I don't think that's better. But what I do think is better is if he's coming back after a year away and he understands like, hey, man, I don't have to throw the ball 40 times. I could throw it 25 to 30 times and be highly efficient, but know that this defense has my back as well. It's going to get me a couple extra possessions here. Because we know for Ben, when you're playing in the game year after year after year after year, you get so singly focused. You never get a chance to look back and say, okay, what do I do well? What am I struggling with? What can I improve upon? When you're in that grind mode, you never get a chance to see that. Whereas this last year, he got a chance to legit sit back and say, man, okay, what do I see when I watch this game? Okay, what have I been doing well? All right, what are some things that I can adjust for me personally? You get that chance to like really self-evaluate. Because when you're injured and you're sitting off for a year, oh man, you think about everything. Now, the reason why I'm leaning towards him coming back and being better is because I think mentally that's the path that helps him out the most. Because you get that chance. Because it's hard when you're in there and you're putting up numbers. It's hard to see, man, sometimes if I'm doing too much of this, it's putting this unit on the field too much. It's not allowing us to eat up this clock that we need to eat up. Sometimes it's hard to see that because you're just so caught up in, man, we lost this game. All right, I got to go harder next week.
Yeah.
Whereas now you get that chance to sit back and say, okay, well, no, this actually is a better move. This actually does help better. Okay, I understand when to take my shots here even more so now. I think him having that year away helps him in that regard. Talent-wise, I don't know. None of us know what that arm is going to be. Is it going to be the best it's ever looked before? Is it going to still have that accuracy, that pop? Is it still going to be lively? Like, we just don't know, and we won't know until the season starts. And then it's like, okay, can it hold up? Because it's one thing to get to the season. It's another thing for it to hold up, though. When you start talking about the wear and tear from the grind of a season, when you start talking about the hits that he's going to be taking, the weather, he plays in Pittsburgh. He's not playing in the Dome in New Orleans or Indianapolis. It's a lot of factors.
I think that's why I'm saying rejuvenation. It's going to hold up. It's going to be.
Well, but this is the thing. It's like the reason why I never say rejuvenation is this. People say, oh, a year off makes Ben healthy. It makes, okay, left arm, legs healthy. The arm wasn't healthy last year. The arm was surgically repaired. So it's hard to say, oh, that rest is going to make his arm better when his arm is recovering from a surgery, a major surgery. So that rest does not help that arm.
Yeah, maybe better.
You see what I mean?
Maybe better arm is not maybe the right term.
Yeah.
Because his arm has been.
It was trash. It was
no. I mean,
no.
I mean throughout his career, and like I said, even going back to 18, I thought his arm was still good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if the arm is just back to what it was, at least,
right?
Maybe a little better. Why not?
But for me, I'm not saying that it can't come back and be better.
But then you're saying Ben as a total, though, the whole mental aspect, the whole staying away from the game, making better decisions,
helps him so much more, than what people are trying to say in terms of, oh, he's going to be well rested and his arm's going to be good to go. Because like you can't say that his arm benefited from this year off when his arm was having to be surgically repaired. Yeah, how's that a benefit? You see what I mean? It's a contradiction. But like that's the argument people always make, right? Oh, a year from the game, Ben is always dinged up. This helps him out a lot. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Here's what I will say.
Like how?
Here's what I will say. You know the phrase.
Oh man.
What? This is philosophic here.
Here we go. Go ahead, drop it for man. Let him know. Like, okay, go ahead.
You know the phrase. No pain, no gain.
Oh God.
Ben's arm went through some pain. Ben's arm went through some suffering. Us as fans went through some pain.
So now we're ready to go.
Us as fans went through some suffering. What does that stuff lead to? Like I said, no pain, no gain.
Hey, man.
To have to grow, you got to suffer a little bit. You gotta
there
go
can
through
be no progress without struggle. That's what they say, man.
So that's why we point at potentially better than
man,
ever.
He missed the whole year because the elbow surgery. Man, that arm is good to go. He's fresh. That year away helped him. What? He didn't choose to sit out last year for rest. Are you serious?